Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit into the world around you? Like there's a deeper purpose pulsing beneath the surface of your everyday life? If so, you might be what many call a chosen one, someone selected by the divine to fulfill a unique mission on earth. But here's the truth. Even chosen ones can stumble. Even those with a divine calling can veer off course. Today, we're diving deep into the 7 things you must stop doing to fully embrace your sacred path. Because your mission is too important. Your light is too needed. Let's begin. Let's start here, with something that quietly steals more destiny than failure ever could. Doubt. Not the loud kind that shouts, "You'll never make it," but the quiet kind. The kind that creeps in when no one's looking. That whisper that says, "Are you really chosen? Who are you to think you're different? Maybe it's all in your head." Sound familiar? That's the kind of doubt that disconnects you from your power. But hear this. Your calling is real. Your purpose is real. Your intuition, those nudges, those sacred disruptions in your spirit, are not accidents. You've always felt it, haven't you? That you were meant for something more. That the way you see the world isn't like everyone else. That your pain had to mean something, because otherwise it was just too much. That's not imagination. That's a signal. A divine signal. But here's the thing. Chosen ones don't always feel chosen. They question themselves. They second-guess the path. They wonder why, if they're truly chosen, life feels so heavy, so lonely, so confusing. But that's part of the process. You see, doubt often shows up right before the breakthrough. Resistance increases when you're on the verge of stepping into who you really are. And yes, there's a reason it feels so intense. Because the enemy of your soul doesn't fear your past. It fears your becoming. If doubt can keep you stuck, playing small, questioning your worth, then you'll never activate the fullness of your mission. But you didn't come this far just to retreat. You've seen too much. Felt too much. Survived too much. That inner calling? That voice that won't leave you alone? That's divine memory. It's your soul remembering who you were before the world told you otherwise. So no, you're not crazy. You're called. You don't need a title. You don't need permission. You don't need 10 signs in the sky to start walking in purpose. You just need to trust what's already inside you. Chosen ones aren't perfect. They're persistent. They don't have all the answers, but they show up anyway. And right now, the world needs people who are willing to show up. Imperfect, unsure, but aligned. You can't afford to keep silencing your spirit just to make others comfortable. You can't keep waiting for someone else to confirm what your soul already knows. So stop doubting your calling. Own it. Honor it. Walk in it. Because this isn't just about you. It's about who you're meant to reach. Who you're meant to awaken. What you're meant to build, restore, and transform. And it all starts the moment you stop doubting and start believing. Let's talk about something almost every chosen one struggles with, often without even realizing it. The need to be seen. The craving to be validated. The desire for someone, anyone, to just say, "Hey, I see you. You matter. You're on the right path." It's natural. As humans, we're wired for connection. We want to be accepted, understood, loved. But when you're called, when you carry a divine assignment, there comes a point where that need for external validation becomes a block. Why? Because the world can't always see what God is doing in you. Your friends might not understand your calling. Your family might doubt your vision. Even your closest circle might not get why you've changed, why you've grown, why you've walked away from the old version of yourself. And that's okay. Because your validation doesn't come from them. It comes from the source. Let me say it plainly. You don't need applause to walk in purpose. You don't need likes, comments, or followers to be powerful. You don't need to be understood to be authentic. In fact, most of the people who made history, the real world changers, were misunderstood in their time. Noah built an ark under a clear blue sky. Moses stuttered and still led a nation. Jesus was rejected by his own. Being a chosen one means you may walk paths others can't see yet. And that means sometimes you'll be praised after you're gone, but questioned while you're here. So here's the truth. If you're addicted to external validation, you'll end up diluting your message. You'll water down your truth. You'll trade your authenticity for approval, and that's a heavy price. Validation isn't wrong, but chasing it is. Because it means you're putting your worth in hands that were never meant to hold it. When you finally stop seeking validation from the world, you start hearing from God more clearly. You start trusting your own voice. You stop asking for permission to be who you already are. And the freedom that comes from that? It's like breathing for the first time. So release the pressure to perform. Let go of the need to prove yourself. Stop looking outside for confirmation of what your spirit already knows. You were chosen before anyone ever applauded you. You were anointed before they liked your posts. You were called even when no one clapped. And that is more powerful than any validation this world could ever give. Let's be honest. It's hard not to look around and wonder, am I behind? Why does their path look so much smoother? Why am I still struggling while they're thriving? We've all done it. You scroll through social media. You hear someone's success story. You watch people shine in the spotlight. And silently you start to question your own progress. But here's what you must understand, especially as a chosen one. Your journey is not meant to look like theirs. You weren't sent here to be a copy. You were sent here to be called. And the truth is, comparison is a distortion. It shows you someone else's highlight reel and tempts you to judge your process by their results. But you don't know the battles they're fighting behind the scenes. You don't see the nights they've cried, the moments they almost quit, or the mountains they had to climb just to stand where they are. And even if you did, it still wouldn't matter. Because your timeline is sacred. The pace of your progress is divinely timed. The detours, the delays, the quiet seasons, they all have purpose. Sometimes, what looks like a setback is actually divine protection. Sometimes, what looks like slow growth is deep root work. Chosen ones aren't always first. But they are always forged. Forged in silence. Forged in struggle. Forged in places no one sees. So if you're in a season where it feels like everyone else is ahead of you, pause. Take a breath. And remember, you're not late. You're in preparation. You're learning lessons others may never need. Because your mission requires depth. It requires endurance. It requires a kind of spiritual maturity that can't be rushed. So stop looking sideways. Comparison only distracts you from your assignment. It robs you of the joy that's here, now, in your own path. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. And when it's your time to rise, no one will be able to deny it. Until then, honor your process. Stay rooted in your lane. And remember, the chosen one doesn't follow the crowd. They follow the calling. You were chosen. You carry purpose. You're here to shine light in dark places, to help others heal, awaken, and grow. But how can you pour into others when your own cup is empty? This is one of the most overlooked truths on the path of a chosen one. Self-neglect is not spiritual. It's not holy to run yourself into the ground. It's not noble to always say yes, even when your spirit says no. And it's not strength to ignore your needs in the name of being selfless. That's not strength. That's self-abandonment. And it comes at a cost. You see, chosen ones often carry so much compassion for others. They forget to extend that same grace to themselves. You show up. You support. You give and give and give. But underneath all that giving, there's a soul quietly whispering, "What about me?" You were never meant to be a martyr of your own mission. You are the vessel, the channel through which divine energy flows. And when the vessel is depleted, cracked, or ignored, the message loses clarity. The power loses potency. So hear this. Rest is holy. Boundaries are sacred. Joy is necessary. Taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit isn't a luxury. It's spiritual responsibility. You're not just a messenger. You are the message. Your well-being is your ministry. So eat foods that honor your energy. Surround yourself with people who uplift your soul. Take time for silence, reflection, movement, laughter, beauty. Create space to feel and heal. You don't have to earn your rest. You don't need to be broken to be worthy. You just need to remember. You matter too. The world will always have needs. There will always be someone to help, a mission to complete, a cause to fight for. But if you burn out in the process, you can't fulfill your purpose. So stop neglecting yourself. Care for your inner world as deeply as you care for others. Because when you are whole, grounded, and replenished, your light reaches farther. Your presence carries more power. And your impact becomes sustainable. You are not a machine. You are a miracle. So treat yourself like one. Growth requires change. Transformation demands discomfort. Spiritual awakenings often involve shedding old identities and embracing new truths. Don't fear the unknown. Lean into it. Because on the other side lies your next level. The path of a chosen one can feel lonely. But isolation isn't the answer. Seek out your soul tribe. Connect with those who uplift and understand you. Because together you're stronger. You weren't meant to dim your light. You weren't designed to shrink. Your gifts are needed. Your voice matters. Step into your power. Own your brilliance. And let the world feel your impact. Being a chosen one isn't about perfection. It's about purpose. It's about rising each day with intention. About aligning with your higher self. About serving with love. So, release these limiting behaviors. Embrace your calling. And walk boldly on your sacred path. Because the world needs you. Now more than ever.